Hey guys, this is Miss Pascual and Mr. Alvarez is here to help me. We will be doing the benchmark number 3 review, but we're only going to do certain questions to help you finish the rest of it. So for number 3, here we have two equations. They say that x represents the number of cats and y represents the number of birds. So really in these word problems, if you're intimidated by all the words, look for the equations, look for the denotions of the variables, and look for what the question is asking. We need to find the number of cats that she has based off of these equations. Alright, so simply using these two equations, find x. I'm just going to rewrite it over here so we can see that system. 4x plus 2y is equal to 76. Well, hey guys, x's, y's equals number. You can use a matrix. Easy way out. The number here is a 1. So 1, 1, and this is 21. The number here is 4. The number here is 2. The number here is 76. Alright, so let's just go ahead and put this into our matrix. Go to second, and then matrix. So remember guys, we have to edit our matrix. So scroll over to highlight edit, press enter. This is a 2x3 matrix, so make sure you have 2 times 3. And let's just input this from left to right.
1 enter, 21 enter, 4 enter, 2 enter, 76 enter.
So we've got to get out of the matrix. And then remember, REF. Go back to second matrix. Scroll over to highlight math. And scroll up for REF. Up. Now we need to put or specify which matrix we want. So we go back to the matrix. And there you go. The first one is our x value, that's 17. The next one is our y value, which is 4. What are we finding? We're finding x. So the answer is 17. So x is equal to 17 cats. That's a lot of cats.
I had a weird neighbor a couple years ago who had like 30 cats.
Oh, that must be awesome.
She was creepy.
You're creepy. Alright, so number 4, Movies R Us has 2 video rental plans. The regular video rental plan charges this much for each video rental. The preferred video rental plan has an $8.75 membership fee and charges $2 for each video rental. When will the preferred plan be better? Alright, so we have 2 companies, Movies R Us and Preferred Video. I need to write 2 equations so I can set up my system. So for the Movies R Us, it's simply, alright, $3.25 per movie rental. So that's a rate for each. So that's just simply y is equal to 3.25 x, because that's a rate. My starting point is just at 0, so we can put plus 0, but you don't have to. That's your first equation. And if you're confused, I'm thinking in terms of y equals mx plus b, where I'm looking for the rate and the starting point, or your y-intercept. Now let's look at the preferred video plan, since we've already looked at Movies R Us. The preferred video plan has a membership fee, so that's the starting point. So no, even if you haven't rented any videos, you still have to pay up front $8.75. What's that? That's your y-intercept. That's your starting point. So let's form our another equation. Something x plus my starting point, which is $8.75. Now we need to find our rate. Our rate, oh, it says it charges $2 for each. Hey, keyword rate. That's my slope. So those are your 2 equations. So we're not done yet. All we've done is we've set up or modeled this situation by a system of equations. Now we need to answer the question, when will the preferred plan be better? Plug it into your y equals. Look, it's already solved for y. Might as well take the easy route. So in your y equals, plug in both equations. 2x plus 8.75. So if you were to look at the graph, because we can't really see the window, let's go to the table. So again, the first column is the Movies R Us, and the second column is the preferred video. So let's start at 0. So at 0 movie rentals, Movies R Us costs 0, but the preferred video plan has $8.75. We want to find when it's cheaper. So we can just scroll down and compare and find when this number on this side will become smaller than the number on this side. So scroll, scroll, scroll. 19.5 is still smaller. Whoa. Look. At x equals 7, they are the same price. So it's after 7 movie rentals that this becomes the cheaper plan. So your answer is after 7 rentals. So after 7 movie rentals.
I'll do that one.
No, it's 5.
Okay, 5.
5.
Stephanie is going on her dream vacation. Ooh, lucky. The price of the vacation depends on the number of days of vacation X. So both companies will plan a dream vacation to the same location.
So this is company A, that's their plan, and this is company B, this is their plan. So for what values will company B cost more than company A? For a side note, I'm going to put company A in Y1, and I'm going to put company B in Y2. The best thing would just be to go straight to the table, because if you were to try to graph it, get really funky looking graphs because of the scale. So unless you know how to mess with the window, I would recommend just going back to the table. So as we can see on the table, we have Y1 over here, so this is company A, and this one is the price for company B. We're looking for the values where company B, so this column, is more than this column. Well, over here, starting at 0 days, I can already see that this column, these numbers are bigger than the numbers in company A. So let's see where it stops, because we want to find all the values. So still bigger, still bigger, still bigger, still bigger, still bigger. Oh, matches up and then gets smaller. So the key thing right here is the intersection between those two lines. So it's before 12 days. So for what values will company B cost more than company A? Less than 12 days. The great thing about the benchmark is that it's multiple choice. So you could even just use the process of elimination and just see which one fits. All right, we're going to skip to number 9. Number 9 says Lauren wants to buy a bag of apples for $16.25. Each apple weighs about 12.
What's a 12? 12.
Each apple weighs about 2.3 ounces and will be packed into a bag that holds 9 to 11 pounds. If there are 16 ounces in a pound, what is the greatest number of apples that the bag can hold without exceeding its weight limit?
All right, so here we have 2 different types of units. We have pounds and ounces. So let's just convert it all to ounces just for the sake of consistency. Because we're trying to find its maximum weight limit, all I need to look at is this 11 pounds. I don't really need to consider this 9, because 11 pounds really is the maximum weight. So let's convert pounds into ounces. Because we know the weight of each apple in ounces, why don't we see how many ounces are in 11 pounds so that we can answer the question? So in unit conversions, let's just do it this way. 1 pound they give us, so this is 1 pound. 1 pound is 16 ounces. So that means 2 pounds would be 16 plus 16 ounces, which is 32 ounces. And continuing on that pattern, 3 pounds, that's 16 times 3, 48 ounces. But we don't have to keep doing this all the way up to 11. We can simply just multiply. 1 times 16, 2 times 16, 3 times 16, but we're looking for 11 times 16. I'm sorry, 11 times 16 is 176. So really what this is, 11 pounds, the bag, this is the bag, it can hold up to 176 pounds.
Ounces.
Holy moly! 176 ounces. So we want to find how many apples can fit into this maximum weight of 176 ounces, knowing that each apple weighs 2.3 ounces. Well, guess what? Division. Just divide. 176 divided by, my handwriting is terrible, 176 divided by 2.3, that should give you the approximate amount of apples that can fit into this bag. Because each apple weighs 2.3 ounces. To find how many can fit into this total bag, just divide. So that divided by 2.3, that gives you about 76.5. But we can't have half an apple, so let's just count all of the whole numbers. The answer is 76 apples.
Which is quite a bargain considering she just paid $16 for it.
Yeah, so we really didn't need this price. It's just excess information. 76 apples. So that's the same method that you're going to use to go through number 10. But I'm going to leave that for you guys.
Hey guys, it's Jimmy. I'm stepping in to do the next couple of questions, starting with number 12.
So number 12 says, what transformation occurs when the function f of x equals 12x plus 22 when the equation of the line changes to the function 18x plus 22?
So I'm just going to write down the equations again, but I'm going to write them one on top of the other. The first equation here, the second equation just under it. You can see that the only change between the first equation and the second one is right here, the slope. From 12 to 18, that means the slope increased. So let's take a quick look at the graphs. As you can see, the first graph is the 12x slope, the second graph is the 18x slope. You notice that when the slope increases, as you should know, when the slope increases, the graph becomes steeper. So, to answer the question, what transformation occurs? Well, the equation simply gets steeper, and that's all. What's next?
Okay, next is number 16. Number 16 says a bank employee notices an abandoned checking account with a balance of $412. The bank charges a $4 monthly fee for the account. The function of b equals 412 minus 4m shows the balance b, as in what's going to be left after so many months, which is m. So, as m goes up, that number b is going to go down. So if the monthly fee was to increase, how would it affect the graph of the line representing the balance of the account?
So, again, I'm just going to write the first equation as we got it. So, it's basically saying if the monthly fee was to increase, well, what was the original monthly fee? It was $4. Where was 4 in the equation? It was right here. When the 4 is attached to the variable like that, what does that mean? It's your slope. So it's saying if the monthly fee was to increase. So let's just pick a random number that's bigger than 4. So 412 minus, let's say, number bigger than 4, let's go 10. $10 monthly fee. Well, what would happen to the graph? Well, remember to the last question we went over. The slope increased. So even though it's minus, it doesn't really matter in the context of this problem. When the slope gets bigger, it's going to get steeper. The only influence that the sign is going to have on the graph is the direction. It's going to be going downhill in this case, as compared to uphill on the last problem that we went over. That's all. So again, if the monthly fee was to increase, how would it affect the graph? It would get steeper, going downhill. Or rather, in the context of the problem, the remaining balance would decrease at a faster rate. Okay, we got a couple problems left. We're blitzing right through these, but really that's about how easy the problem should be. They shouldn't take very long. So next, number 18. If 4 1/2 y is a solution to the equation 3x minus 5y plus 10 equals 0, what is the value of y? Well, remember how a coordinate is given to you. It's given in xy format. So in this particular equation, our x is going to equal 4 1/2 or 4.5. Now we need to solve for y. The best way we can do that is substitute in what we know and then solve for an unknown variable. So let's do that. So first 3x, but in x's place is going to be 4.5 minus 5y plus 10 equals 0. So firstly, let's simplify what we can by multiplying the 3 and the 4.5 together. That's 13.5 minus 5y plus 10 equals 0. We can combine like terms here, so 13.5 plus 10. I'm going to continue the problem up here, so 13.5 plus 10 is going to be 23.5 minus 5y equals 0. And we have a little two-step equation to work with. In order to keep the problem in the positives, I'm going to move the 5y over as opposed to the 23.5. So I'm going to add 5y to both sides. We'll cancel this. And we're left with 23.5 equals 5y. And lastly, divide by 5. This will cancel. And we are left with 23.5 divided by 5. And that'll leave us with y equals 4.7. And that is our answer. Alright, last question that we're going to go over for the review is number 22.
If the slope of the equation y equals 2/3 x plus 7 is changed to negative 2/3, and the y-intercept is changed to 0 minus 7, what changes have been made?
So let's write the original equation first. Y equals 2/3 x plus 7. Now, let's make our new equation. New equation down here. Old equation up here, new equation is going to be down here. So, the first change that we do, the slope is changed from positive 2/3 to negative 2/3. So negative 2/3 x. And the y-intercept is changed to 0, negative 7. Basically when it says the y-intercept is changed to this coordinate point, remember, the number by itself in the slope-intercept form is what your y-intercept is. In the original equation, it's positive 7. In the new equation, it's going to be negative 7. So minus 7. So what changes? Well, in the first equation, this 2/3 was positive, and in the second one, it was negative. Because the actual number of the slope didn't change, but only the sign, it's going to flip about the horizontal. But that's not all that happens. There's a second change that happens. Take a look here. It was plus 7 in the original, and in the new equation it's minus 7. In the original equation the y-intercept was 0, 7. So here in the new equation the y-intercept changes to that new point that we had here, 0, negative 7. So the y-intercept is going to change, or in other words, it's going to shift down by 14, because 7 above and then 7 below. 7 plus 7 is that 14. Okay, that's all the equations that Sensei and I were going to go over. Good luck on your benchmark and try to do well, you guys. Good luck.